How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? This afternoon. This is William. March 31st, 2023. How y'all doing today? Listen, I just want to go ahead and update y'all with something that I had talked to y'all about earlier in my earlier videos about Michelle Wall. Okay, one of my videos, I don't know if y'all remember now, but I asked that woman not to ever call me again. I'm gonna tell you the reason why I don't want her to call me. All right, she called me today twice. First call she called me, I was speaking with my daughter on the phone, and period. I was speaking to her on the phone, and we were speaking. She was breaking conversation with me, like something that she didn't want to say to me. And then I said, "Well, let me speak to your brother, YJ, my other son." So I said, "Well, YJ, he started speaking with broken conversation. A broken conversation, and when I asked him questions, he couldn't answer. So then the phone abruptly hung up. So then called me right back. And when he called me right back, a few minutes later, about a couple of minutes later, 2 o'clock, um, I said, "What happened?" I don't know. I said, "What? You got the phone in your hand?" So the phone hung up. You know what happened? He was like, "I don't know what happened." I said, "Well, just tell me what happened." And then he kind of said, well, anyway, let me just skip that, and I'll get back to that. But then anyway, I was speaking to him about his arm, and I said, "How your arm doing, son?" This is my son that had this. He was born, his shoulder was messed up because of birth. And so I was asking him how was his arm, because his mom would allow him to have a surgery on his arm that I was definitely against. And the doctor was against it too. Once he turned a year old and could lift his arm up elevated level, the doctor said he didn't have to have the surgery. So now a few years back, since Sophia Crawford gave Michelle Wall custody of our children to make all decision making, medical, school, everything, she went and had him to have that surgery. And that surgery didn't turn out to be good. The surgery was actually worse. Now he don't have a shrink in his arm like he did before. So when he was telling me on the phone that, "Well, Daddy, I don't got the strain in my arm," I said, "Well, that's what I was protecting you against, that surgery that your mom allowed you to have." I mean, and she knew. Doctor said the same thing to her. The doctor said to me that he didn't have to have that surgery because he elevated his arm good. And so the doctor said the same words as he said to me, he said to her. But then she went and got him that surgery anyway. And then in the mix of me talking to him about his arm, she took the phone from him and got the blabbing off at the mouth on the phone. I just hung up because I ain't got nothing to speak to that woman about and don't want to speak to her about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because my son is telling me on the phone that his arm is weak. He's only saying what he know that's wrong with him, because he can't make nothing up. And then she monitoring his call, monitoring my daughter's call. That's the reason why I don't want her to call me. Because you don't call me and monitor my kids on the phone with me. You don't do that. Because my kids is free to speak to me in any kind of way they want to speak to me, because they are my children. But she limit their conversation with me, and she monitors their call to keep them from saying something that they might say that she don't want them to say. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason for that. And why she called me today, I have no idea. Because I asked my daughter, I said, "Baby, you ain't been calling me." So my daughter, she 9. I said, "So what made you call me today?" She couldn't answer the question. So I don't know. But see, that's just what I'm saying. So I don't have no dealing and bother with this woman whatsoever. And she finds a way, and she probably just wanted to call me herself. Because my kids didn't, my kids always want to call me. So if it was left up to my kids, especially my boys, they always want to talk to their dad. Always. I mean, y'all done heard in past videos that my boys always wanted to. Now, I can excuse my daughter because she don't really want to talk to me. But my two boys by her, they always want to talk to their daddy. Always. So I knows this. And I know they love me, and I knows all of that too. But it hurts me for them to get on the phone with me, and Michelle gonna monitor their calls to me and monitor what they says to me, and then she wanna interrupt when they speaking with me, so they won't say something they ain't got no business saying to me. I knew his arm was gonna be weak. I knew when I saw him after that surgery, when I finally saw him, I knew he couldn't elevate his arm. He still can't elevate his arm, and I knew that surgery was going, and that's the thing I protected him from. As a parent, concerned parent that love his children, I protect him from that surgery, and I didn't only protect him from the surgery. I protected him from that surgery with the doctors agreeing with me. Duke, on Chapel Hill, They said no, when he was born, they wanted to do the surgery at birth. Then they said, well, we can wait till he get a year old and then we'll reevaluate him. When he got a year old and they reevaluating him and he could elevate his arm to a level that was acceptable to the doctor, now not to me, to the doctors. He elevated his arm to the level that was acceptable to the doctors. And the doctor said, he's fine. He is fine. So he don't need to have this surgery. So the surgery was struck. Then now, as soon as Judge Sophia Crawford gave Michelle the rights to do anything without say so to me, without confronting me, without telling me, without acknowledging to me that she even gonna allow him to have this surgery, now his arm is worse. Y'all hear me? Now his arm is worse. So to keep my son from further telling me about his arm and the difficulties he having with his arm, Michelle jumps on the phone and starts running her mouth to me, and I hung right up. Because I'm not, she ain't supposed to, if my kid's talking to me, she ain't supposed to interrupt them, and she ain't supposed to be monitoring their call, what they say to me, because they going to talk to me as a child, and he was telling me the suffering he was dealing with his own. And so she going to stop his conversation to me because she feel like that I don't supposed to know nothing that's going on. See, that's why, and that's the reason why, y'all, that's the reason why I don't deal with her. That's the reason why I don't have nothing to do with that woman, because that woman is spiteful. You know what I'm saying? She uses my kids, but you know what? Let me tell y'all something, but it's coming all the way back, full circle. It's coming full circle. Can you hear me? Full circle. It's coming back because the junk that she has done to me and with our children, it's coming back. Excuse me. Because, and I got a call here when she called me twice from her number. And just to be ill-minded and just to be hurtful and hurtful through my kids or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be one day they're gonna be able to talk to me freely as all they want to. All they want to. See, when they would be with me on the weekends or whatever, when I used to get them every now and then, when I had them to talk to her, I didn't come and say, cause see, you know why I didn't? I didn't hear to them no kind of way from talking to her. Because in my home, you can talk about anything you want to talk about, son, daughter, all of them. I don't have them to hold back nothing. So only you have your children to hold back something is when you hiding something. Ain't that right, y'all? When you hiding something, that's why you interrupt conversation. You monitor your child on the phone with their other parent. That's the reason why you do that, is because you don't want them to say something they ain't got no business saying or slip out their mouth with something they ain't got no business saying, because you got something to hide. And with that, y'all, I'm gonna let that go. I just want to let y'all know that Michelle Wall called me today. And I ain't spoke to my kids since let's see, on the telephone. I'm supposed to speak to them every day at 5:30 or 6:30, whatever. They don't call me or nothing, and I don't never want to call her and talk to her because I only want to talk to my kid. That's all I want to talk to. I don't want to conversate with her, not 0% at all, period. Because she, the evil stuff she has done to me. Why would I want to talk to that woman? Because she's an evil. She just did evil stuff to me, along with the evil people around here in Richmond County. She was the forerunner of it, and they helped her. So. But still, like I said, it ain't over till God says over. Now, let me tell you one thing about when God says over, it's over. And ain't no comeback. See, when God says over, there's no comebacks. It's over. So I just want to bring y'all up to date with what Michelle has done to me today and talking to my kids today, calling me today. If she's going to monitor their conversation and handle what they say to me, then she should have never called me in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the whole problem is. My kid telling me to hurt and stuff that they going through and suffering. And she don't care enough as a parent to allow my child to tell me the difficulty that he having with his own. That's the whole thing of the matter. Thank y'all, and any updates I will let y'all know. Thank you.